मॉर्निंग। भारत के 74वें स्वतंत्रता दिवस के लिए आप सबको शुभकामनाएं। फ्रेंड्स, कॉन्सल जनरल Mrs. Abhilasha Joshi and all my colleagues in the consulate join me in welcoming you all to this virtual live platform. As you're all aware, because of the local regulations regarding the COVID pandemic, we are required to limit the gathering. That is why we are connecting with you through this Facebook live stream. Today's program is going to be as follows. We would request Consul General to unfurl the national flag. This will be followed by singing of the national anthem. I would request all of you to please rise and also sing along. After that, Consul General will read excerpts of the address given by the President last night to the nation. And finally, the program will conclude with Consul General's remarks. So, may I begin and request Consul General to please unfurl the national flag.
Namaskar, Sat Sri Akal, good morning. As in time-honored tradition, I will be reading out excerpts from the Honorable President of India's speech to the nation on the eve of the 74th Independence Day of India. I will be reading a few paras in Hindi and after that continue in English. मेरे प्यारे देशवासियों, नमस्कार। 74वें स्वतंत्रता दिवस की पूर्व संध्या पर देश विदेश में रह रहे भारत के सभी लोगों को बहुत बहुत बधाई और ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं। 15 अगस्त को हम सब तिरंगे को लहराते हुए स्वाधीनता दिवस समारोहों में भाग लेकर और देशभक्ति से भरे गीत सुनकर उत्साह से भर जाते हैं। हमारे युवाओं के लिए यह स्वाधीनता के गौरव को महसूस करने का दिन है। इस अवसर पर हम अपने स्वाधीनता सेनानियों के बलिदान को कृतज्ञता के साथ याद करते हैं। उनके बलिदान के बल पर ही हम सब आज का स्वाधीन देश के निवासी हैं। हमारे स्वाधीनता संग्राम के आदर्शों की नींव पर ही आधुनिक भारत का निर्माण हो रहा है। हमारे दूरदर्शी राष्ट्र नायकों ने अपने विविध विचारों को राष्ट्रीयता के एक सूत्र में पिरोया था। उनकी साझा प्रतिबद्धता थी देश को दमनकारी विदेशी शासन से मुक्त कराना और भारत माता की संतानों के भविष्य को सुरक्षित करना। उन्होंने अपने कार्यकलापों से आधुनिक राष्ट्र के रूप में भारत की पहचान की मूर्त रूप प्रदान किया। We are fortunate that Mahatma Gandhi became the guiding light of our freedom movement. As much a saint as a political leader, he was a phenomenon that could have happened only in India. Troubled by social strife, economic problems and climate change, the world seeks relief in Gandhiji's teachings. His quest for equality and justice is the mantra for our republic. I am glad to see the younger generations rediscover Gandhiji. Dear fellow citizens, the celebrations of Independence Day this year will be rather restrained. The reason is obvious. The whole world confronts a deadly virus which has disrupted all activities and taken a huge toll. It has altered the world we lived in before the pandemic. It is very reassuring to note that the central government, while anticipating the tremendous challenge, responded effectively and well in time. For a country so vast and diverse, with high population density, meeting this challenge requires superhuman efforts. All state governments took measures in accordance with local circumstances. People also supported wholeheartedly. With our committed efforts, we have succeeded in containing the magnitude of the pandemic and saving a large number of lives. This is worth emulating by the wider world. The nation is indebted to doctors, nurses, and other health workers who have been continuously on the forefront of our fight against this virus. Unfortunately, many of them have lost their lives battling the pandemic. They are our national heroes. All corona warriors deserve high praise. They go much beyond their call of duty to save lives and ensure essential services. These doctors, health workers, members of disaster management teams, police personnel, sanitation workers, delivery staff, transportation, railway and aviation personnel, providers of various services, government employees, social service organizations, and generous citizens have been scripting inspiring stories of courage and selfless service. When cities and towns go quiet and roads are deserted, they work tirelessly to ensure that people are not deprived of health care and relief, water and electricity, transport and communication facilities, milk and vegetables, food and groceries, medicine and other essentials. They risk their own lives to save our life and livelihood. Amid this crisis, Cyclone Amphan hit us in West Bengal and Odisha. Amid such onslaughts of disasters, it is gratifying to see all sections of society coming together to help those in distress. Dear fellow citizens, the poor and daily wage earners are the worst hit by the pandemic. By introducing Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana, the government has enabled crores of people to earn their livelihood and mitigate the impact of job loss, dislocation and disruption caused by the pandemic. The largest free food distribution program in the world has been extended till the end of November 2020 to provide succor to about 80 crore people every month. Committed to taking care of our people stranded anywhere in the world, the government has brought back more than 10 lakh Indians under the Vande Bharat mission. Confident of our strengths, we reached out to help other countries in their fight against COVID-19. In responding to calls from countries for supply of medicines, India has once again shown that it stands by the global community in times of distress. Dear fellow citizens, the world now realizes what our sages had said long ago. The global community is but one family, Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. However, even while the world community needs to fight together against the greatest challenge before humanity, some in our neighborhood tried to carry out their misadventure of expansion. Our brave soldiers laid down their lives defending our borders. Those worthy sons of Bharat Mata lived and died for national pride. The entire nation salutes the martyrs of Galwan Valley. Every Indian feels grateful to their family members. Their bravery in combat has demonstrated that while we believe in peace, we are also capable of giving a befitting response to any attempt of aggression. We are proud of the members of our armed forces, paramilitary forces and police personnel who protect the borders and ensure our internal security. Dear fellow citizens, we have learned some tough lessons in the year 2020. The invisible virus has demolished the illusion that human being is the master of nature. I believe it is still not too late for humanity to correct its course and live in harmony with nature. Officers of the Government of India and the state governments have been extensively using virtual interface to discharge their functions. Technology has enabled certain establishments in government and private sectors to work overtime to keep the wheels of the economy running. With a view to providing futuristic education to our children and youth, the central government has decided to implement the National Education Policy. I am confident that with the implementation of this policy, a new quality education system will be developed, and this will transform the future challenges into opportunities, paving the way for a new India. My dear fellow citizens, only 10 days ago, construction of the temple at Sri Ram Janmabhoomi began in Ayodhya. It was indeed a moment of pride for all. People of the country maintained restraint and patience for a long time and reposed unflinching trust in the judicial system. The issue of Ram Janmabhoomi was resolved through judicial process. All concerned parties and the people respectfully accepted the verdict of the Supreme Court and displayed before the world Indian ethos of peace, non-violence, love and harmony. I congratulate all fellow citizens for their commendable conduct. Dear fellow citizens, when India won freedom, many predicted that our experiment with democracy will not last long. They saw our ancient traditions and rich diversity as hurdles in democratization of our polity. But we have always nurtured them as our strengths that make the largest democracy in the world so vibrant. India has to continue playing its leading role for the betterment of humanity. We have a lot to offer to the global community, especially for intellectual and spiritual enrichment and promotion of world peace. With this spirit, I offer a prayer for the well-being of one and all. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kinchit dukh bhag bhavet. It means, may all be happy, may all be free from illness, may all see what is auspicious, may no one come to grief. The message of this prayer for universal well-being is India's unique gift to humanity. I once again congratulate you on the eve of 74th Independence Day. I wish you good health and a bright future. Thank you. Jai Hind. Dear fellow citizens, you would have all seen Honorable Rashtrapati Ji's message, which covered every aspect of life, and also Honorable Prime Minister's address from the ramparts of the Red Fort. In conclusion, I would be making a few remarks to the members of the Indian diaspora and friends of India. It is a great honor and privilege to convey our heartiest greetings on behalf of the Consulate General of India in Vancouver to each and every one of you on this auspicious occasion of the 74th Independence Day. As every year, our hearts and minds are filled with gaiety and patriotism on this momentous day. Although today, due to the COVID-19 restrictions, we are celebrating by being socially distant but virtually connected. We know that this is one occasion that binds us all together. I thank all of you who are connected with us through our virtual platform and watching this stream, knowing that many of you would have liked to be here in person, but in the best interests of all, keeping everyone's health our top priority, we had to resort to a virtual celebration. Nevertheless, as you can see, our enthusiasm has not dimmed, and we hope that the pandemic will soon be behind us and we can revert to social gatherings in the near future. We have received Independence Day greetings from the Honorable Premier John Horgan and several other elected representatives, and I thank each one of them for the same. Friends, you have always been an important pillar of building India-Canada relations, and our strategic partnership has grown deeper and stronger over the years. Even in times of the pandemic, the cooperation between our two countries is ongoing. Our Prime Ministers have spoken to each other, Foreign Ministers have been in regular contact, and so have the Commerce and Industry Ministers. Both countries are committed to working together for a better world. The pandemic may have kept us physically distant, but brought us closer together as we engage across sectors, and people and industry on both sides are keen to work together. The biggest repatriation exercise, Vande Bharat mission, undertaken by India to bring its stranded citizens back home, has proceeded smoothly between India and Canada. We have repatriated more than 8,000 persons through more than 50 flights, several of them from Vancouver. A limited bilateral travel arrangement has been worked out between India and Canada, which will further facilitate travel between our two countries. India's pharma sector has played a crucial role and has emerged as the pharmacy of the world. The pandemic has also taught us to be more self-reliant. Honorable Prime Minister's clarion call for an Atmanirbhar Bharat is the need of the hour. This does not mean that we will close ourselves off from the world, but that we will invest in our resources and enhance our capabilities. India is committed to keeping global supply chains open and attracting the best technologies and know-how to complement our Make in India initiative. Whenever a vaccine is found for COVID-19, we are sure and certain that India will play a leading role in its manufacture. Honorable Prime Minister has initiated structural reforms to not only mitigate the effects of the pandemic, but to make India better equipped to deal with such global setbacks in the future. The Atmanirbhar Krishi is an important cornerstone of this policy. A new Pan-India Agriculture Infrastructure Fund was launched to provide medium to long-term debt financing facility for investments in post-harvest agri projects and community farming assets. The flagship eNAM, or the e-National Agriculture Market, is another innovative initiative in agricultural marketing to enhance farmers' accessibility digitally to multiple numbers of markets and buyers with the aim to reach the last mile farmer. eNAM has expanded to local markets in 18 states and 3 union territories of India. Recently, while addressing the India Global Week 2020 event, Honorable Prime Minister said that India's talent force and her ability to reform and rejuvenate are the two key factors that will contribute to global revival. While India is fighting a strong battle against the global pandemic with an increased focus on people's health, there is equal focus on the health of the economy. The reforms initiated by Honorable PM during the last 6 years have introduced total financial inclusion, record housing and infrastructure construction, ease of doing business, bold tax reforms, and noteworthy strides in clean energy. Another major step is the new education policy, which will transform learning and education in India. There are significant opportunities in every sector in the new India. We encourage Canadian companies and businesses to further explore opportunities in sectors such as logistics, infrastructure, MSME, defense, space, fintech, and education, amongst others. Friends, as we celebrate this Independence Day, let us never forget the sacrifices of our freedom fighters and the unique way that they won freedom through sacrifice, non-violence, and moral righteousness. The values taught by them are more relevant today than ever before in our materialistic society. In conclusion, I take this opportunity to bid you all farewell as I complete 3 years of my tenure in beautiful British Columbia. It has been an honor to serve you all from British Columbia to Alberta and Saskatchewan and the Northwest and Yukon territories, and to work with you all to build stronger relations. We would continue to serve you to the best of our ability. Entire Team CGI Vancouver is here for you and at your service to help and cope in these tough times together. Understanding the hardships being faced by applicants in emergency situations, we plan to soon roll out an online appointment system only for emergency cases, keeping in mind the restrictions placed on our services due to the ongoing pandemic. I thank all the community associations for their invaluable contributions and assistance to students, new immigrants, stranded Indians during this pandemic. There is much complementarity between our two countries, and the talented diaspora makes relations ever more meaningful. I urge you all to keep working together to bring our countries closer. I wish you all good health and happiness, and let us all rededicate ourselves to the service of our nation. Jai Hind!